Hello and welcome to your PMQ live update for today, which is Friday, May 29th. It's the end of the week. It's a beautiful day out there. I do have a friend here, Mr. Jason Herron, and he's, it's a little different than what we have done in the past. We've been talking about a lot of business side, but Jason did something that was very unique and honestly just came from the heart and snowballed into something that a lot of people might not have been able to handle. So without further ado, Jason, I will let you kind of introduce yourself, who you are, where you're at, and kind of what you do. Because, you don't really have any affiliation with the restaurant industry, do you?
Not really. So my name is Jason Herron. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. And when COVID-19 hit and they shut all the bars and restaurants down in Ohio, I worked in the car business for a long time, and we worked long hours. And after I get off work, I go to the bars, go to the restaurants, and I got to know a lot of people in the service industry. My friends and I all did. So 3 of my friends and I were in a group chat a couple of days after everything closed down. And we said, you know what, let's each throw in $75. We'll give away a $200 gift card and a $100 gift card to two of our friends in the service industry to help them out since they're not going to be at work for a while. So I said, let's do it. We'll put it on my Facebook page. I'll do my first ever Facebook Live, which I'd never done before. And we'll draw 2 winners out. So I posted on my page the day before, it was Friday, March 20th, all the rules about it. I said, hey, we're going to do 2 gift cards to help out everybody, to help out 2 people in the service industry. If you want to sign up, please sign up on my page. And we seriously thought 10, 15, maybe 20 people would sign up. Well, I went to bed, and by the time I woke up, over 1,000 people had signed up. So that first night, we drew 2 names. More and more people started donating. And it just started rolling, and it blew up out of control. It was amazing. We ended up doing 15 Facebook Lives, and we gave away over $23,000 to unemployed service workers.
Well, you just kind of gave away the big bang there at the end. But again, like you said, you went to bed thinking, a handful, 20, 30 max would sign up, and you woke up with over 1,000 people, and all you had was $300 to give away.
Right.
Was there any kind of pushback against that? People kind of being angry, or did they just kind of understand that maybe it took a life of its own?
It took a life of its own because on my post, it said we're going to give away 2 gift cards. And to have all those people so desperate for money because, I worked in the service industry back in the day, and 90% of service industry workers do it because you get cash every night and you live with that cash. And to have that taken from them, and, it was no one's fault. No one got fired. All the businesses closed because of COVID-19. So when we did the $300, legitimately, everyone thought that was a lot of money at the time. And no one saw this coming. After the first one, I checked my Venmo, and there's thousands of dollars in there, and it just started rolling from there. And, the true heroes of this are all the donors. Everyone that watched the Facebook Lives that would donate money in and to help all these people. And we now have our own Facebook page, which is #StillTipping. And we created 3 days ago, and we already have, I think, 650 people already have signed up for it. And it's a public page if anyone wants to enter it. And just 2 rules: no politics and no crazy COVID-19 conspiracy theories. Save that for the other Facebook. There it is right there. And we just have a lot of fun on there. We had a contest yesterday for service industry workers, whoever heard the worst pickup line. And we gave away a free Still Tipping T-shirt today. And the person that won was actually her birthday, too. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, it's taken on a life of its own, and it's a lot of fun.
All right. So you did this initially just out of fun and just, trying to help people that you understood the situation. People needed help. Right. And this is the least that you could do in your eyes. And people kind of grabbed onto that, and it did snowball into something to where you were getting tens of thousands of dollars coming in. You have created this Facebook page. So you had drawings. What was the qualifications for people to sign up for this? Because there's a difference between somebody who's on unemployment, who's actually possibly making more than they are now, versus someone who still has a job, but could actually be making less because of reduced hours. What were the kind of stipulations to actually sign up?
Unfortunately, in Ohio, the majority of the people were not getting unemployment. And on the Facebook Lives, the best part about them were the comment section. Everybody that was hurting in the service industry, all supporting each other. And we heard all these nightmares about the Ohio unemployment site crashing on a daily basis. No one could get through. I would say probably 60 to 70% of the service industry in Ohio did not get $1 of unemployment for at least the first 45 to 60 days. It was just People couldn't afford anything. It was horrible. And the people that won even $100 were so thankful. I would get emails and messages and posts about how they could feed their family or how they could give their daughter a nice Easter. Everyone was so thankful, and it made everything worthwhile. It really did. To see these people struggle and to be able to lift them up even for just one day was well worth it.
No, absolutely. And I know personally, my girlfriend, she's from Ohio, and she's been in that same struggle of trying to get that unemployment. Finally, it's starting to come through for everybody over there. Of course, right when everything's starting to open back up.
Right.
Serendipitous timing, I guess. I don't know. But, so this is already, all right. So what does this cost you personally? I mean, aside from the $75 for each of you and your friends, I guess it was you and 3 other friends.
Correct.
What did it cost you to kind of set something up that's going to be managing $23,000 of giveaway?
Well, I donated a few extra bucks too, unannounced on there. But the total cost for me, and one of my friends actually messaged me saying, "Hey, I don't want you going backwards doing this. We know you're not profiting, so I'll just pay you whatever it was." So I told him it cost me 2 stamps. So it was 80 cents. That's all it cost me because the first 2 gift cards we mailed out before we went to Venmo. So that's all it was 80 cents. And the rest was, I set up a separate Venmo account so the money can be transparent so everybody could track it. And, my banker told me to do that, which was a great suggestion. So there's some shady people in the world, but we wanted to be completely transparent that every single dollar was going to the unemployed service industry workers that got it. And we did that.
Well, and I'm seeing here just even on May 21st right there, you guys gave away almost $3,900
in one night
in prizes. So that I did want to ask you about that. What kind of stipulations or kind of government loopholes did you had to kind of jump through? Because now you're managing a lot of money, and you want to make sure it's above board and transparent. Correct. And like that, I guess you went to a banker friend or just your local bank.
I went to my local bank.
How would you recommend if somebody's trying to set something like this up in their town or city? What would you recommend to do this to manage this amount of cash flow?
So this is what I would recommend. So once we got close to $5,000, then I realized this was like a runaway train and it wasn't going to stop anytime soon. So I went to my local bank, met a bank manager there. He set up a separate account for Venmo that all the money could go into and come out of in case we would get audited or if anybody wanted to see where the money was going. So we used the hashtag StillTipping to track all the donations on Venmo. So everyone could see the money going in, everyone could see the money going out and where it was going. And every dollar was accounted for. And people, once we did that, even people I didn't know were comfortable donating because they saw that it was going to such a good cause, and they saw the weekly drawing. Sometimes we did 2 drawings a week, sometimes we did 3. And people saw the joy of people winning and the people posting, they received their money immediately. Everyone was paid within 24 hours. Sometimes I paid them as soon as we got off the Facebook Live, we paid them right away because I know the people need the money desperately. So everyone was paid within 24 hours, and they said nothing but good things about it. Venmo is I'm not getting paid for Venmo to say this, but Venmo is so easy to use. There's no setup fees. There's no service fees. So if you win $200, you get the entire $200. Nobody takes a penny out.
Oh, yeah. So no transactional fees. That's right. That's definitely nice too. So you're welcome, right. Venmo.
Right.
Jason, doing you good.
I need a Venmo feature, I guess.
Yeah. There you go. So, I mean, it grew to thousands almost, I don't want to say overnight. Well, literally overnight. It kind of grew to thousands, and you've collected so much money. Is there any kind of regulation? I don't want to even say regulation, suggestion that you give for people donating, or how's it coming in? Are people just saying, hey, I got $3.50, you can have it? Or do you say at this level, you can donate 5, 10, 20, 100? I mean, how are you regulating how much is coming in?
Our average donation was anywhere from 25 to 50. I mean, we had donations as low as $2. So somebody said, hey, this is all I got, but you're doing such a good thing. Here's $2. We had someone donate over $1,000. But everyone was very transparent about it. And that was just one donation for this person. The one person donated thousands of dollars, but his biggest one was $1,000. He actually carried us through 1 or 2 of the drawings. He was fantastic. But
wow, and this was not without any kind of accolades involved, not looking for any kind of recognition, just for out of the good of your heart for the industry, because they can see how we're all struggling. Or I
Right.
don't want to lump myself in there. I mean, lucky enough, I've been able to work from home, but
Right.
so, I mean, have you been able to kind of gift some of these big item donors, or you know what I mean? Do you get something for donating, or is it just the satisfaction of seeing your name on the screen or something?
Well, I would, unless they wanted to be anonymous, I tag them on my page the day before the drawings. I would say tomorrow night's drawing sponsored by these amazing donors. I would put their names on there, unless they want to be anonymous. But another reason, the way this really steamrolled, was we had a licensed massage therapist from Cleveland. Her name's Nikki Nicole. She was watching, and she was a big fan. And she messaged me on Facebook. She goes, I want to donate 6 free massages to the donors for helping out. I was like, unbelievable. And then another guy, Kevin Johnson, who's a massage therapist from Youngstown, also donated massages. So then the donors started winning massages, and they got even more people donating. So I'm telling you, #StillTipping started with 2 gift cards. It has evolved, and it continues to evolve. Now we have our own Facebook page, and we're going to have Still Tipping parties later this summer, hopefully if social distancing eases up later this summer. It's just been a wild ride. It's been crazy.
But it cracks me up that it became a trend that the reward for donating became massages. But hey, that's good. I mean, just snowballing from that, you can get other people to actually donate stuff. For you can be anonymous, or you can actually help get your company's name out there as well in this reopen. If they see that you're helping out another part of just the people in need, not actually part of your industry, but other people in need, because we're all in the same boat right now.
And I just saw one of the winners logged on in the comment section. Jody Renee, she was one of our winners. I just saw her log on in the comments.
Yeah, well, that's what I was actually getting ready to. I'm kind of keeping a track here, and 3 have popped up since you told me that. I almost teared up when you were saying everybody's just kind of starting to donate all that stuff. That's great, but it's I wanted to remind everybody that you can ask comments or questions for Jason here in the comment section, and we'll get them up on screen. Jason L. Williams, he's been tuning into a lot of shows. Hello, Jason. Also, Carlos Cesar Zopetti, he says hello. I don't know why I always throw an accent on those names. I'm sorry. Stephanie Ann, she's tuned in. She's just happy that you're out there representing them. And here we go. Let me see. Mark Davis. Okay, so it's already, I kind of thought this might happen because you were kind of putting it off to your people there. So it looks like we're having a little, hopefully it'll catch up here in a second.
Got
it. So Mark Davis, here we go. There you are. All right. So I just wanted to show this. It's not letting me show your thing, Mark Davis. Anyway, all right. So Mark Davis says he dares you. There it is.
I can see it.
Yeah. So I knew that would probably happen since you have all your fans watching. We're going to get a lot of crazy donation suggestions. But you know what? Do that and hashtag it, PMQ Live Update. I can join in next time. I'd love to, I remember watching a couple of them. And I'll get to that. Well, let's just, the first one I saw was, I guess, a drinking challenge. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so we did, after we did, 8 or 9, I wanted to do something different. So I did a drinking game where if you donated $50, I'd do a mixed drink, $100, I'd do a shot. Well, we raised $2,000 that night, and I slept on my couch. I never made it to my bed. It was a pretty wild night. But so it raised so much money, we did another one and then another one. We ended up doing 3 of them. And the last one is when we did almost $4,000, and it kind of caught on and people loved it. And, every Facebook Live, we would do a toast to the unemployed service industry workers. And people would message me afterwards, hey, I opened a can of beer, I cracked open a bottle of wine, and that was a really emotional toast. And, we're all getting through this together. So people loved it. I loved it. It was fun. And, like I said, we're going to continue to evolve. And I think the next wave of #StillTipping is going to continue. It's just going to be a little bit different.
Well, no, and that's great. Definitely keep it going and evolve. That's what everybody's having to do is adapt and evolve. This is not a sustainable model. You taking shots of tequila every time somebody gives money because they just want to see you do that.
Is that my liver talking or you?
Huh?
Is that my liver talking?
I'm just, yeah, right. He's speaking through me to you. I could do the same thing, but even watching that, I was like, woo, that's got to be rough.
12 shots of tequila the one time. It was bad, but it was for a good cause. It was for a good cause, and it was funny. Like towards the end of it, I didn't realize when I started to slur a little bit. I was like, it's time to cut off. It's time to go to bed. We raised enough money for the night, but it was a blast. It was a lot of fun, and I see a lot of people that were part of that were donating are on here watching right now. So that's really cool. So yeah, hey everybody.
Well, it's when I had tuned in, you still seem to be in control, and we can see you're hydrating there. Jody says hydrate. It's the weekend, so
Yeah.
just make sure you're staying careful. So I did want to talk a little bit about you talked about how you can once you started getting past a certain amount of a dollar amount that you decided that you definitely had to go into and talk with a bank. What is the best thing that somebody can do if they wanted to start one of these in their own town? I mean, should they reach out to local businesses, try to get people who can, you want to obviously get the donors, but do you want to get people who can reward the donors as well? So it becomes kind of a symbiotic relationship.
Right. And you have to, it is a lot of work. Like I was posting on Facebook before this happened, maybe twice a week. And once we started doing this, you had to post every day because you had to remind people how much money you're giving away that week, what time you're going to be on, what day you're going to be on, have to thank the donors. Only 1 week we fell a little short of our goal. So I put like a donation graph on there saying, hey, we're only $200 short. We just need it by tomorrow night. An hour later, we had it. People were so excited for this, but you got to have enthusiasm. You got to make it fun. And if you do that, people will donate because there's so much negativity going on in this country right now. I mean, just look at the news the last couple of days in Minneapolis. To see something like this, that there's no political nonsense, there's no COVID controversy, it's just good people donating their hard-earned money to help people in need. There's no negativity. There's none. There have been no bad comments, nothing. It's just been all positive, and it's been great. And actually, two other people started their own drawings. They each did 3 drawings, one in Southwest Ohio and one in Florida. They both reached out to me. They were fantastic. And they did 3 drawings too, and they both give away thousands of dollars. I think one did $3,000 and the other person did $4,000 in drawings too. So it's cool. To inspire other people is awesome.
Yeah, so you've kind of spawned kind of a movement, which I think is great. I did want to ask you, and I don't know, I hadn't gotten that far on the scroll feed, but that cracks me up. But I wanted to ask you, have you seen some of these winners donate again? Did they kind of pay it forward?
Yeah.
Did they maybe take a 20% of what they won and put it back into the pot?
Well, there's so many good stories about that. People have donated half their winnings back, $25 back, whatever it was. And I had one person who signed up and was in the basket message me telling me that she got unemployment, so to take her name out of the basket because it wouldn't be fair to the people that really need the money. I mean, how cool is that? Like, it's unbelievable how caring everyone was during this whole run. And to see the Still Tipping Facebook page take off and all these people that have won on there and people that have been watching on there and wanting this to continue one way or another is fantastic. I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep the show going, and we're going to go to local bars and restaurants all over Ohio and talk about what events they have coming up or what specials they have. And then those bar owners can donate gift cards so those people can win gift cards too. So like I said, we're going to constantly evolve this, and you're part of it. You messaged me yesterday. We talked on the phone, which was a great conversation, and it's cool that you heard about it. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, and I mean, this is, again, you just said right now you're just kind of continuing the cause now, just to help and locate. I guess there was a talking point about that you're helping locate jobs for employees who lost their jobs through the pandemic.
Correct.
You're trying to actively find people employment. I mean, what's that? How are you going about that actually? So
the last Facebook Live we did, I actually reached out to some local bars and restaurants about how business has been. Some haven't been good. Some have been doing really well. So the ones that were doing really well were hiring. So I had them come on the Facebook Live in the comment section saying, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm the general manager of downtown Harry Buffalo. We're hiring all positions. So that's what actually spawned the Still Tipping Facebook page. I'm like, hey, this is going to be a community page where if you're a bar owner or general manager looking to hire, come on here because you're going to have, we only thought it would be 200 people on this page. There's already almost 700. there's going to be good people here that might be looking for a job because some of their establishments didn't reopen. There's a lot of places in Northeast Ohio that are done for good. And it's devastating. And these people want their jobs forever. So to see these bar managers and owners come on, recruiting them has been fantastic. So yeah, we are. In fact, the first day Still Tipping page was up, we set up 5 interviews throughout Northeast Ohio for jobs. So hopefully they'll be hired and we can move on and have some great success stories. Tracy Smith won. I just saw Tracy Smith's comment.
Yeah, no, and I mean it's a great evolution from what you kind of started, like you said, with 2 gift cards to actually actively helping find people employment, gainful employment, which is great. Right. So, and it's all these connections that you're going to be making through, people seeing it, enjoying what you're doing, donating, and staying in touch. And again, I'm here for anything that you might need. I would love to be involved. I have a network of U.S. Pizza team members that I would assume would love to be involved in something like this in their particular areas because we span the whole U.S. But
fantastic.
I mean, I did want to ask you again. So now you've collected you have collected over 23,000, and from what you guys have pretty much given all of that away at this point, correct?
Yeah,
so this money that came in has gone out to people.
We have like $147 left, and the person who donated $100 told me just to pick out random winners to give Still Tipping shirts to, which I did. And any other donations we get in, what we're going to do is use that for one of our Still Tipping parties and maybe get a DJ or, once again, it'll be all transparent. Whatever we pay it out to will be seen. But we don't have much left. It's not, no one's going to tune in for a $47 drawing. So we'll see what happens. But, if people still want to donate, like I said, it's transparent. It's on Venmo. It's Jason-Herron, which is HERRON-19. Use the hashtag Still Tipping, and it'll go to a good cause. It'll either go to a service industry worker, or it'll go to a party celebrating the service industry workers. We haven't decided yet what we're going to do with the rest.
All right. Well, what was that email or that link again, real quick? Jason Herron.
Yes, Jason-Herron, which is HERRON-19, the number 19. And just use hashtag Still Tipping. We can track everything.
What is that at Venmo
Yeah, it's the Venmo app. Yeah, just go to the Venmo app. That's how we paid off everybody, other than the 2 gift cards that we sent out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put that up there in the comments here so people can see that and have that. We have Gray Shipium says, where did it go?
Hot Carl for DJ.
For DJ. Yeah, there it was. And then, hey, Jason. You're getting a lot of people that have really appreciated what you've done have been tuning in today. So I'm glad that we can kind of put this out there for some people who maybe haven't heard what you're doing. But so again, we did kind of talk a little bit about that. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're on unemployment or don't have a job. How are the names drawn? Is it randomly? I mean, do you vet these entrants, or do you check their Facebook?
I actually have. Let's see if you can see this. Hold on a second. Let me get it. Can you see this? Hold on.
Lift it up higher.
There we go.
Okay, there's the basket
of names in here. Hold on.
It's this, right? Yeah, that's the basket.
Thousands of names in there that have signed up on my Facebook page or other links I was involved with, and that's how we draw the names. And it's all on Facebook Live. I'm not looking. There's nothing up my sleeve. It's totally random. It's funny, when this started, people were like, oh, he's only going to hook up his friends. Well, none of my friends won. So then my friends were like, oh, you're only hooking up strangers, which means the next time. So it was just totally random. And we would pull names out of the box and out of the basket. And people enjoyed it. In fact, one person, her name's Brandy Steele. I wonder if she's on here. She called her shot. And I didn't even see it because I was doing the Facebook Live in the comments. She goes, you're going to pick me next. And sure enough, I picked her name, which was like a legendary moment. It's Still Tipping. She called her shot. It was unbelievable. It was like Michael Jordan. Yeah,
no, absolutely. That's got to have that confidence. Sometimes you will it into an existence right there. So, Amanda Cicerella wants to know, can we pick a name for $100 today on the show?
Absolutely.
She says she will Venmo it right now. Do you have a name that you can pull out?
Right here, hold on. Let's do it. You can
wow. All right. Well,
all right. So
hold on one second.
Nothing up the sleeve. There's the basket. I'm looking at the camera, so I'm not looking at the basket. This is for $100, courtesy Amanda. $100 goes to. Always get two stuck in my head. All right, we got one. Here we go. $100. I'm not looking. Here we go. The $100 winner goes to, from the High Point in Niles, Ohio, Bridget Allen. BRIGITTALLEN. Congratulations, Bridget. You just won $100 courtesy Amanda. Congratulations, Bridget. There we go. That's how it's done.
You got a little digital on my side. I think you're back. So Bridget Allen from High Point and where?
Niles, Ohio. Niles. It's a town right by Youngstown.
All right, Bridget. Well, I hope you're watching. If not, I assume, Jason, you have her info and you're gonna send it to send it over to her. So this is great. I'd love to be involved in more of these if we can. But thank you, Amanda, for your generous donation. So James Burge is he's liking what we're doing up here.
James Burge is a well-known comedian in Cleveland. He's great. He's a stand-up comic. What's up, James?
Is he part of DFD? I have to ask because
that's Mike Polk. That's Desperate for a Date. Mike Polk and Leslie Schrodek and I hosted a dating game in college called Desperate for a Date. But Mike Polk is a really well-known comedian in the Cleveland area. He works for the NBC station now, Channel 3.
Okay, so I just wanted to mention that because I guess you brought them back for kind of a reunion. Your Desperate for a Date crew, and you did a giveaway there too. So James, we did appreciate you tuning in. Maybe you can team up here with Jason and get something going as well.
Yeah, James is phenomenal. He's one of the best comedians in all of Northeast Ohio. He's hilarious. I was actually that's another thing. Stand-up comedians aren't working now either because none of these bars and restaurants can have any entertainment. So you think about DJs aren't working. Comedians aren't working.
Right.
Local bands, they're really screwed because you can't dance right now in any of the bars in Ohio. So there's no reason to have live music. So there are so many more people still out of work right now until we ease up the social distancing, which hopefully will be sooner. But we'll have to wait to see what happens, with COVID-19. But it's those are the people, those are the unsung heroes that no one thinks about. No one thinks about the comedians and the DJs and the bands. But they're not working either.
Well, no, and you're right. It exponentially affects everybody in the industry, and you don't necessarily think about it. So, So Lisa Thompson says apparently she knows Bridget. High Point, way to go, Bridge. James Berg keeps popping in here. I might have to ban you, James. You're just getting a little too stocky. No, I'm kidding.
What's up, James?
No, he says you got the biggest heart in Cleveland. So, Amanda. She says she loves you guys. And again, definitely appreciate your generous donation there, Amanda. That's great. I did want to, there's a couple other questions. I mean, this has actually gained, I don't know if this is national attention, but the attention of PBS. I don't know if PBS is local to each individual city, if they have their own little branches where they do it from, but they reached out to you. They did some video or at least a photo shoot and a write-up.
Right.
So, I mean, it's obviously it's going a little bit further than just Cleveland and even just the Ohio area.
Your show is so much better than mine. You have graphics. This is pretty impressive, man. You're blowing my mind. This is a very impressive layout you have.
Well, I did want to give credit to the photographer for this because this is the picture I stole for the thumbnail for this. So whoever that person is, you did a great job, and please don't sue me.
No, it's Gail from PBS. She was based in Washington, D.C. for years and years and years. Hi, Nikki Eileen. And I just saw her comment pop up. She's now in Cleveland because she has a sick grandma, and she moved back to Cleveland. And she followed this, from the first or second one. She reached out to me, and she did a story. She took some pictures, and she posted the story, and it was the most shared PBS story of the whole month because of all the people watching the Still Tipping shared it all over Facebook. In fact, I didn't even know the story was out yet. People were sharing it on my page. So I read it from a friend before I even saw it. But that's what really took off Still Tipping was that story. That she did such a great job. And, by the time I went on that night, we already had thousands of dollars in my Venmo from just people reading the story because my Venmo account was in the story. So people just started donating from reading the story.
Well, and that's, I mean, that again, that just goes to show, the power of media, but that there are a lot of people out there who really do care about other people. There's
Right.
only a small percentage of people who are, and I'm just going to say it, dicks.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
But most of the people do have that common courtesy and the human decency to kind of care about people. And speaking of the D word here, I'm going to be kind of a D word right now. And I do have to ask you about this just because my brother's a big LeBron fan. But
oh, boy.
What? So you are, I guess you are the man. We'll do it in and out real quick here. But the gentleman, I guess, who, why don't you tell the story? Because I don't know the facts at all.
Okay, so
quick, you don't have to go into it deeply, but
so if you Google me and LeBron James, there'll be thousands of stories. So the summer he was a free agent, I'll just make this as fast as I can. My brother and I started a group called Please Stay LBJ. We sold a bunch of T-shirts and we had parties all over Cleveland. It was great. The local news stations did stories on it. And the night of the decision, the local ABC station called and said they wanted to film me watching where LeBron was going to go. And I said, okay, absolutely. Come to Lakewood, Harry Buffalo. That's where we're having our party because LeBron's going to stay. You can watch us party all night. Well, on the way there, the news got out that LeBron was going to Miami. So I picked up some lighter fluid and a lighter. And when he announced he was going to Miami, we walked out to the parking lot and the local news station filmed us burning all his jerseys. Like 20 or 30 of them went up. And we just thought it was going to be a local story, but we went back in the bar. And live on TV, Michael Wilbon asked LeBron James to look at the monitor where they go live to Cleveland where we're burning his jersey. And it became a national story. And it became a national story for years and years and years until LeBron came back. I was actually on CNN the day LeBron came back, begging him to come back. And he did, just by fate. That was the same day he came back. And it's just been one thing after another. But he finally left. I'm like, you know what? I won't be doing any more interviews for a while. And then StillTipping came along. So it's just, I've had a weird life, man. I've had a weird life. But LeBron and I have made up. We're good. He brought us a championship. We kissed and made up. I love LeBron. If you give you a tour of my house, I got LeBron stuff everywhere and 2016 Cleveland championship gear everywhere. So we're good now. But yeah, it was a wild 8 years. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, that's CNN, ESPN. You've been all over the place, buddy.
PBS magazine. We're doing everything, man. It's great.
Well, it's just funny to me because my brother was a LeBron fan, and he's a LeBron fan. He wasn't a Cavs fan, and he's not a Heat fan. So, as soon as LeBron went to the Heat, he bought a whole new wardrobe, and now they live down there in Florida. And sucks to be you, Stevie. I'm just going to say it. Anyway,
I've been a Cleveland fan throughout it all. He's playing for the Lakers now. It doesn't bother me, but he played for Miami. Yeah, I was not a fan of that, but he brought us a championship. Yeah. He delivered his promise. We're good.
Yep, absolutely. And my good buddy and PMQ consigliere Daniel Lee Perea is a huge LeBron fan as well. So
okay, cool.
I think you guys would hit it off relatively well. So we're going to kind of wrap this up here. If anybody has any questions or comments, now's your chance to put it up there. Sorry, Tracy Smith, she couldn't finish the live because she had to go back into work from her break. She's on a double today, so that's good.
It is good. By the way, Amanda, thank you so much for the donation and not making me do a shot of tequila because the last time I did one of these, a $100 donation cost me a shot of tequila. So thank you for letting me just drink my water and give away $100. Thank you, Amanda.
You made a lot of money that night from what I saw. You just kept pinging every single second. So
we did.
but yeah, Tracy
mom was watching and she was so embarrassed about the amount of alcohol I drank, but it was for a good cause. It was for a really good cause.
There you go. But yeah, Tracy Smith, she's going back to Old Bag of Nails in Toledo. So, we wish Old Bag of Nails the best of luck. I did want to ask you, what's kind of the best tip for somebody to try to start one of these in their own town, city, or state? Just kind of like a 1, 2, 3 step process, because as you saw, it can get out of hand fast.
Right.
Maybe what are the couple best tips that you learned along the way that you can give these advice to these people if they want to try it in their own areas?
And I'll just say what I told those 2 young ladies that started their own. All you need is a couple $100. That's it. And a great attitude and some enthusiasm. Because if you go on Facebook Live and you get enough excitement build up, we started with $300. That was it. But we made it fun. We made it exciting. And we've got a lot of people to watch. And when a lot of people were watching, the enthusiasm builds. And what really started this was the first Facebook Live. It was for 2 gift cards. And then I sat back down and I started talking. You know what? I said, you know what? I'm going to donate an extra $100 out of my pocket and pick another winner. So I did that. Then I sat back down. And here's just an amazing story. This is my favorite story. A guy I hadn't seen in over 20 years, I grew up with, commented, his name's Sean Grossman, commented, hey, Jason, long time no see. Here's an extra $100, pull another name out. It was insane. So we pulled an extra name out. So that night, it started with 300, it ended up being 500. By the time I logged off that night, I had an extra $1,000 by Venmo to do another drawing. So as long as you start off with just a couple $100, that's all it takes is some enthusiasm. And you just have to stick with it, though. That's the thing, because you have to be dedicated, because if people see your enthusiasm, that makes it contagious. And people want to donate money and get behind a good cause. So that's what we did. And have a guy like Sean Grossman didn't hurt either. But when he donated that $100, and I told the story that I hadn't seen him in 25 years, hadn't talked to him in 25 years, people got really excited about that a guy like that would donate out of the goodness of his heart for no reason other just to be a nice guy, to be a great guy. It was awesome.
Well, it is. Goodwill is more infectious than negativity, I think.
Absolutely.
And, I think that's what you is actually spread so quick and so fast. So, I mean, that's actually, great. It's just have the small bank and have the enthusiasm and put it out there. Make it fun, make it purposeful, though. Don't make it just random, stupid giveaway crap. It's got to serve a purpose.
And, it's just me in my kitchen. And everyone's always asking, it's me in my kitchen in front of a clock. Well, you have an amazing setup, but the fact that we did it with $23,000 with just me on my phone, anybody could do it and probably have a much better show than what I did. You just have to have enthusiasm and be consistent about it, and people will donate.
That's great. So those are some good tips. What is kind of just one positive affirmation to give to the industry? I was going to say restaurant industry, but you're not technically a part of that, even though you've been benefiting it very much these last month or so. When did it actually start? What was your first one again?
March 21st. It was a Saturday night. So the bars closed in Ohio on March 15th. So we did it immediately after that. And then we ended up doing 15 of them. And the last one was last Wednesday. And so, the last one we did was the night before the bars reopened, because we thought bars are reopening, we won't need to do it anymore. But then we keep hearing these stories that bars are only half staffed right now, restaurants are half staffed, because, there's a lot of people still afraid to go out to eat. And I don't blame people right now. People, there's a lot of people scared. But I've been trying to hit, some local bars and restaurants around here to support the industry with, and still tip them, obviously. By the way, you got to see the shirt. There it is. And, try to tip it.
It's almost the same font.
I love that shirt. I love that.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can do an exchange.
We have to ask you, since you work for Pizza Magazine, your best pizza. We need to know this. You're the pizza expert. What is your favorite pizza? We need to hear this.
It's like asking me who my favorite child is, even though I don't have any. But, my favorite style, I do like the hand-tossed traditional. I do like Neapolitan, but that's one thing that you got to eat right away. And the flavors that go on that. Man, my favorite go-to pizza is a hand-tossed traditional. Honestly, pepperoni, fresh mozz, and basil. It's kind of like a margarita, but I just put that saltiness of the pepperoni. You can substitute that with prosciutto. I don't have a particular personal place. It depends on where I'm at and what city. Chicago, I got Panino's, Pauly G's, Gianni's. New York, Kestes, Williamsburg, Hackey's. Again, don't ask me. It's a loaded question. But every pizza has a place in this world, and it's doing its job. So, for me personally, I'm simple. Most people just say kind of cheese and basil. I need to make some this weekend, so I'm gonna just make some mozzarella and basil. Just keep it simple.
Well, pizza places are the ones that really haven't been affected, because people have been ordering a lot of delivery. So it's good. People are getting their pizza fix.
Yeah, absolutely. They're already kind of set up for that,
Right.
And I always say this a lot of times, and I always say, I don't like to say it, but pizza is kind of recession proof. Because even just in the past recessions, I mean, people still want to order pizza. Now that's the one thing where you can buy a family meal. You can spend $15 to $20 and you can feed 3 to 4 people on one pie. You can get a half and half. Some places, if they would do like each individual quarters, that's just crazy. Don't ask your pizzeria to do that. They don't like that. Don't. Stop at half and half. But I mean, that's again, pizzerias, if you serve pizza and stuff like that, they've fared better than most. I should put it that way.
Right. And delivery, they've already knocked out of the park with delivery, and people didn't want to leave their home. So I mean, I got pizza a lot. So during the last 2 months. And like the average person, I've gained probably 10 pounds on quarantine. So
yeah, no, and that's so it's nice for the pizza industry, but I mean, places like the bar industry, which depends on people congregating and being close to each other, asses to elbows, that's who's hurting the most.
Right.
Like you said, local bands can't go out to play because nobody's going to be dancing on the dance floor because you're not allowed to. Right. DJs, same reason. Comedians as well. It hits a lot of people that you don't necessarily think about at the first onset. You know what I mean? You kind of think about yourself or your industry and what you're doing, but you don't see the trickle down effect to everybody else that it does affect. So have you
heard of Cedar Point, the amusement park?
Absolutely. All my friends in high school, they used to go there and work every summer.
It's not open right now. And what's funny is the most winners we've had from a place is Sandusky Steak and Shake, which is crazy. I don't know, like all their employees must have entered, but we've had 5 winners from Sandusky Steak and Shake. And right before we went on, I don't know, maybe the 6th or 7th one, they were all told that Sandusky Steak and Shake was not going to reopen. A lot of places in Sandusky aren't reopening because they all counted on that tourism money from Cedar Point. And Cedar Point, we don't know when it's going to open, and when it does, it's not going to be full capacity. They're probably only going to let 50% of the people in, maybe. I don't even know. So I mean, that devastated the entire town of Sandusky. It's so sad. It's been horrible. This 2020 has been awful.
Well, and I did actually just racing home to make it in time for this interview with you. I got a call from a friend down in Florida who's actually had to close. He's going to be closing down his restaurant after 41 years because they're in a very heavily tourist populated area. He is opening something else up in a different area, but he was asking me if I could give him contacts for, they've never done delivery. They've used third parties, but he's looking at trying to actually use his own his own in-house delivery. Okay. So he was just, looking for advice on that, but it is hitting places like that. The tourist spots, those are going to be the hardest hit by it. Everybody's kind of reopening. Certain people are reopening maybe too soon, or I don't want to say too soon, but just too vigorously. You know what I mean? So anyway, this is getting into politics and all the negative stuff that I didn't want to talk about today.
No, it's okay. It's all good.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, this is just we're trying to problem solve here, but I just wanted to see if you can give me one final affirmation, just for the industry, any kind of industry, just the people in general of the United States of America want to hear, the best positive message that you can give them right now.
There's so much negativity right now in this country, on Facebook, on all social media. I mean, everyone's fighting Democrats versus Republicans. And then what's going on in Minneapolis right now is just horrible and heartbreaking and terrible. So with all this negativity in the world, just be kind. That's all you got to do. And to help others is the best feeling in the world. If it wasn't for StillTipping, I don't know what I would be doing. I'd probably be one of those miserable people on Facebook being a warrior fighting with everybody. But I haven't. I haven't made one political post in 2020. I feel a lot better about myself because of that, because I'm not fighting with people. I'm not fighting with friends or family. And we just started helping people. And you can too. This can be so much more than just a few handful of people. This could be the majority of people. There's a lot of people out there hurting. I think I read 25% of Americans have filed for unemployment since the middle of March. That's 1 out of every 4 people in this country have been out of work or are currently out of work.
Yeah, I think it's actually more than that right now. So it's
help people. If you can financially help someone, help them. Help a family member, help a neighbor, help a friend, help a stranger. These people donating, 90% of them didn't know any of these people in the basket. They just did it out of the goodness of their heart. So we could not have gone forward without the donors. So thank you to them. Anyone thinking about doing this, trust me, if I can do it, starting with 2 gift cards, and never have done a Facebook Live in my life. I was the first one, was horrible. I was botching it. I was all over the place. You can do it too. All you need is a phone and a Facebook page, and you can do it. That's all.
Well, that's great. I assume you'd be open to anybody kind of reaching out to you. I put out there just I guess your Facebook page, because you're out there anyway, but also the Still Tipping page, so they can kind of reach you through those messages. If somebody has some questions about advice, we did get somebody here, Erica Maureen Kraus. Every time I read names, I always put accents on it. I do apologize. Anyone have any advice on increasing sales on basic AB beers during this pandemic? They don't have any beers, and she only knows 50 people allowed inside. So this, I mean, honestly, since you're not in the restaurant industry, I don't think that you could you speak to that? I mean, Erica, if you wanted to email me, Brian@PMQ.com, I'm going to put my email in there. I can kind of point you in a direction of somebody you could speak to if not. But I mean, what do you think about it, Jason?
Well, I don't know what AB beers is. Is that Anheuser-Busch? I don't know what AB means.
That's kind of that was going to be my question. Hold on a sec, but
I love Bud Light. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah. So
I would think cheap beer will be a lot more popular than the expensive beers right now with so many people out of work, I would imagine. In fact, one of the bars I went to Wednesday night, they had all their cheap beer was cheaper than ever. But they've been selling a lot of it. In fact, they did homemade apple pie shots. They did 7 gallons. They sold out of 7 gallons of that in 3 days because they were selling them so inexpensive, because they know people are hurting. And, when people are hurting, I hate to say it, but if they drink, they kind of want to drink to forget about it a little bit. So they made it inexpensive and they sold a lot of it, and it was great. So I think if that question is what the basic beers are going to sell more, absolutely. Right. People don't have as they used to have.
Yeah, and then she said AB definitely meant Anheuser-Busch. So it's about increasing sales on just basic beers versus the fancy beers, which they don't have. So, and she's, with only 50 people allowed inside, their tips are going to suffer greatly unless she can bump up them tabs. So,
well, I will say this. People have been tipping a lot more from what I've been hearing, because that Still Tipping page, and by the way, if anyone's out there watching this, you can join our Still Tipping Facebook page. Just search Still Tipping. You don't have to work in the service industry to be on the page. In fact, I don't, but you can learn a lot about it and how to help people. And we have fun contests on there. But I asked, like the first day we did it, hey, how's business out there? And they said what she just said. It's a lot slower, but the people coming in are aware that it's slower, so they're tipping a lot more money. I bet you the average tip was probably 20% before this. It sounds like the average tip's closer to 50% right now. So the people that are going out are being very generous, and that keep it up. It's great to see.
Yeah, no, and that makes a lot of sense. Most people are, wired to be kind and decent folk.
Right.
You still have that 1 out of 10 that might just not tip at all, but we're not going to talk about those guys.
Karen, all the Karens out there? All the Karens?
Hey, you said no. Don't go political. No, that was very sad.
Angry women who just want to talk to the manager. They could be on both sides. It doesn't have to be political.
No. Yeah, that was a very sad thing. But yeah, most people they understand the pandemic, and when they're out there, they want to help tip everybody. They want everybody to be uplifted as best they can. They're only going to give as much as they can, but some can give a little more than others. I always tend to be a generous tipper myself, but I'm not going to tip at the risk of not being able to pay my bills. So
of course. Yeah. And that's people that can do that. And I've been blessed. I got my last job gave me a nice severance package. So when I go out, I can tip well, and I do, because no one's seen it more than me. These people hurting. The messages I received for the previous 2 months of people just so thankful for even $100 and what that meant to them, because they were debating whether to turn their cell phone off because they couldn't even afford to pay their cell phone bill. So to see all these people hurting and to be able to help them, and I'm going to continue to do so, and hopefully everybody out there will continue to help these people as well, and hopefully we bounce back. I know it's been a rough 2020. Hopefully the light is at the end of the tunnel, and we just keep going forward and help as many people as we can.
Well, and it was definitely heartwarming to hear that a lot of these people who have won kind of redonated some of their winnings back into it to kind of keep it going. So that's just the spirit of what we have right now. And then the attitude we need to have going forward.
And rooting for each other on the Facebook Lives. It's great. Like, I would pull out a name And everybody on there be like, congratulations, Susan, congratulations. I mean, they don't even know this person, but they're all rooting for each other. It's just like a big community. It's fantastic to see.
It's playing that virtual bingo. You guys have fun together, but you want to win, but you're happy for those who do.
And I tell them, I mean, the odds aren't great, but it's a lot better than any state lottery or, I mean, we have 3,000 names in there. We draw, 10 names. That's a lot better chance than you have anywhere else. So, and to see the people on there that actually won in live time celebrating was incredible. I loved it. I loved every second.
Well, and I actually just closed that browser, but there's a lot of people posting up to actually just your personal Facebook, because you only started at StillTipping. Was it a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago?
Yep, just a couple days ago, 3 days ago.
So most of this stuff was being inundated to your actual personal Facebook, but the response was insane. People, it's just thank yous and all the, like you said, the live time, thank yous that they were putting up there. So
probably 95% of our winners were so what's the word I'm looking for? So grateful. They were just publicly commenting and messaging how much that meant to them. And to see that cause other people to donate, to tell you the truth, if you see somebody what $100 can do to them and how much it helps them and their family, you're more likely to donate $25, $50, $100 your own to that good cause. So it was, I want to thank all the winners that posted on my page or on their pages, because I would go on their pages and they're just doing separate comments about it, saying what a great cause this is, and getting their friends to sign up for the contest because they were out of work too, or getting friends of theirs to donate who knew they were working. So it was just one big community. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that's I want to thank you again for what you've actually done here, and I would love to continue to be a part of it and help in any way that I can.
Thank you very much for this.
So this has been a great interview. We've had a lot of people involved. People can actually reach out to you through these your Facebook and StillTipping Facebook if they have any kind of questions or advice that they want to get from you about starting their own. But hopefully we can all merge in the middle on something that's going to be a nationwide kind of movement now, because it's going to last for a long time. At least.
I think you're right. Yeah, because I mean, think about all the bars and restaurants that are just based around sports stadiums, that have concerts and baseball games, basketball games, football games. And no one's saying when fans are going to be able to attend any of that kind of stuff. In fact, I had 4 concerts scheduled for this summer. The last one just canceled. So I'm over 4. They're all canceled. Yep. And all those places were counting on those concerts and counting on these games. Yep. Cleveland was supposed to host March Madness. And that's gone. That's never going to come back. They were supposed to have St. Patrick's Day. That's gone. I mean, these places have lost huge streams of revenue. They're never coming back. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Seems like it was a big concert season this year because I was going to go to one in St. Louis, Pearl Jam, but nice. Somebody who's working with me in the office, he had already booked before this even happened, I think 5 different concerts. All my friends who were going to Pearl Jam with me, 5 other different concerts. I never heard of all my friends going to so many concerts in one year. So
I was going to Guns N' Roses in Detroit. That's canceled. I was going to Motley Crue in Cleveland. That's canceled. I was going to Faith No More's reunion in Pittsburgh. That's canceled. And my boy Justin Bieber, I was going to see him in Cleveland. That's canceled too. 0 for 4. All gone.
I've got a picture with him. I will send it to you, just you though. But no, they had Joan Jett and I want to say Def Leppard. There was some kind of reunion with a bunch of like 80s bands that a lot of my friends were going to go to. That, again, everything is affected right now. And because these big things aren't coming through, a lot of these places are depending on that tourist dollar. They're not getting it. So it's going to affect them. Even when we go back to normal, they're still going to have a long road to recovery, I think. So the more we can do to help our fellow brethren in the industry or just anywhere, the better. So I do thank you so much for your time, Jason. Any questions that come in here, I mean, definitely check your Facebook. Make sure that we didn't miss any questions on your personal Facebook. But I thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for being so involved and caring about what we're talking about. So until then, stay safe and stay sane. We'll see you guys next time. And hopefully we'll be doing a little bit more with #StillTipping.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. I appreciate it, Jason. Thanks.
Bye.